In the early morning light of May 27th, 2001, Dos Palmas Island Resort in Honda Bay, Palawan, Philippines looked like the perfect escape. Crystal clear waters, pristine white sand, private bungalows where the outside world felt 1,000,000 miles away. For 20 lucky guests, including 3 Americans, this was supposed to be paradise. Among them were Martin and Gracia Burnham, American missionaries who'd spent 17 years serving in the Philippines. They chose this secluded spot to quietly celebrate their 18th wedding anniversary. Martin, a pilot, and Gracia laughed, relaxed, and dreamed of the future. But paradise can be fragile. Just before sunrise, the dream shattered. Speedboats sliced through the calm water. Armed men, members of the Abu Sayyaf group, stormed the shore. In minutes, paradise became a prison. The attackers arrived in 2 fast boats, dressed like soldiers to confuse everyone. Guests thought it might be a prank, or maybe just a robbery. They were wrong. 20 people were taken: Chinese Filipino tourists, resort staff, and the 3 Americans, Martin and Gracia Burnham, and Guillermo Sobero from California. The gunmen herded them onto the boats and sped away into the darkness, heading across the Sulu Sea toward their stronghold on Basilan Island. Over 300 miles of open water. Confusion turned to terror as reality set in. No one knew who these men were at first, but soon the name emerged: Abu Sayyaf, a militant Islamist group known for kidnappings, bombings, and demanding huge ransoms to fund their fight for an independent Muslim state in the southern Philippines. One hostage would later describe the fear: being pulled from bed in pajamas, hands tied, hearts pounding as the boats raced toward the unknown. What followed was no quick ransom deal. It became a year-long nightmare in the jungles of Basilan, what the hostages called Green Hell. The captors kept them moving constantly to avoid Philippine troops, day after day, trekking through pouring rain, thick mud, leeches, and hunger. Food was scarce, sometimes just a handful of rice or forage leaves. Diseases spread, hope faded. Early on, June 2nd, 2001, during the dramatic Lamitan siege, Abu Sayyaf hid in a hospital, taking more hostages, including a dedicated Filipino nurse named Edibora Yap. Edibora was there on duty when the militants stormed in. She could have fled or been released early multiple times, but she refused. She chose to stay and care for the wounded, including the remaining captives. In Gracia Burnham's words from her book, "In the Presence of My Enemies," Edibora became a quiet source of strength. She bandaged wounds with whatever scraps they had, encouraged the others, and showed compassion even to her captors at times. She was the underdog hero in a story of overwhelming odds, a Filipino who put others first when escape was possible. The Burnhams clung to faith. Martin and Gracia recited Bible verses, shared hope, even tried to show kindness to their guards. But the psychological toll was brutal. False promises of release, the beheading of Guillermo Sobero in June 2001 as a brutal message, constant threats. Months dragged on. Ransoms were paid for others. Some escaped, some were freed. By late 2001, only 3 remained: Martin, Gracia, and Edibora Yap. After more than a year, Philippine military forces, bolstered by US intelligence post 9/11, located the small group in the jungle. A sudden firefight erupted in pouring rain. Chaos. Bullets flying. The captors fought back fiercely. Gracia was shot in the thigh but survived, rolling to the ground, playing dead until soldiers reached her. Martin Burnham was fatally wounded, pierced in the chest. Deborah Yap, the nurse who'd stayed loyal to the end, was also killed in the crossfire. Gracia's final moments with Martin were heartbreaking. She later honoured Deborah, a woman who could have walked away but chose sacrifice. In a rescue meant to save lives, 2 heroes were lost. Gracia was airlifted to safety, wounded but alive. The ordeal ended, but the scars remained. Today, Dos Palmas Island Resort and Spa still stands in Honda Bay. Guests arrive for the same turquoise waters and white sands. It welcomes visitors, serene, peaceful, as if nothing ever happened. But beneath the beauty lies a haunting story. Gracia Burnham recovered, returned to the US, and wrote, "In the presence of my enemies," sharing the faith that sustained her and the quiet courage of Deborah Yap. Abu Sayyaf was weakened, leaders indicted, some convicted for life in 2007 for the kidnappings. In a world of tragedy, Deborah's choice stands out, a Filipino nurse who refused to abandon those in need. Her sacrifice reminds us that even in darkness, compassion can shine. Paradise showed its teeth that day in 2001. But the human spirit, resilient, faithful, heroic, endured. This was the Dos Palmas nightmare, one of survival, loss, faith, and the quiet courage that emerges when everything else is stripped away. What began as an ordinary seaside vacation at a peaceful resort became a months-long ordeal in the jungle, marked by uncertainty, fear, and heartbreaking loss. Families were torn from safety without warning, and the world they knew vanished overnight. Yet amid the chaos, one nurse changed everything. Her compassion and thoughtfulness transformed a story of terror into one of humanity. When escape was possible, she chose to stay. When supplies ran low, she improvised. When hope flickered, she helped keep it alive. Her steady presence became a source of comfort, not only for fellow captives, but even, at times, in the way she responded to those guarding them. In the darkest circumstances, she embodied selflessness. What started as a simple holiday became one of the most gripping survival stories of its time, a testament to endurance, faith, and the extraordinary impact of one ordinary person who chose others over herself. Do you remember hearing about this story back in 2001? Have you ever visited Palawan? Share in the comments. I read every one. If this moved you, hit like, subscribe for more real stories from history's edge, and turn on notifications. Thanks for watching. Until next time.